The Once Human New Year's stream dropped last night, and with it came a ton of information about upcoming scenarios and the mobile release dates. And today I'm going to briefly break down everything that we learned inside of this stream. Before I get started, I want to give a massive shout out to the channel members. If you want to get a shout out at the start of each video, as well as some badges that level up over time, and even some custom emotes for the live streams, then hit that join button today. But let's go ahead and jump into it here. Starting off with the newly announced Visional Wheel system. This is just a new system for already existing scenarios that's going to change minor things about that scenario. For example, a Visional Wheel will be deployed onto the Way of Winter scenario, providing new gameplay and combat mechanics, but most likely these things are going to be just minor buffs or debuffs and really minor changes. I doubt the Visional Wheel is going to bring anything truly game-changing to these old scenarios. They do talk about the first one a little bit though, in saying that the Visional Wheels will last 2 to 3 months, and it turns out that January 16th is when we are going to see our very first Visional Wheel come out, which of course is yet another delay mechanic to just pad time in between new scenarios. But on January 6th, there's going to be a Blood Moon Vision Wheel where enemies are affected by status effects, making them stronger. Metas will lose sanity constantly and gain it back by killing mobs, but they're going to get more rare loot and more resources from harvesting when their sanity is low. So a little bit of give and take there. I mean, there's not a whole lot that they could do with a Vision Wheel to impact old scenarios. So overall, I think that's like decent, I guess. Not interesting enough to make me jump into an old one, but moving into the new scenarios, they say they are still trying to fix the Way of Winter, and that fixes for the Way of Winter aren't going to be ready until the first half of 2025. I don't know what this company's doing, because then they talk about Manibus and how it was such a balanced scenario that they want to dive deeper and revisit this in a new scenario. So they're just repackaging old scenarios as new scenarios. But the concept of this scenario is to purify pollution and defeat original entities. Oh, sounds so fun. It's basically a reskinned PvE scenario after months of constant delays and really a terrible Way of Winter scenario. Honestly, this company just does not care about the gameplay. It really only wants to sell more cosmetics to the Eastern audience. But they then go on to talk about a second PvE scenario called Code Deviation. These, of course, being the ones that you collect, and this scenario is going to have a lot to do with the deviations that you collect. And apparently their capture methods are going to be integrated with the game's environmental rules, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. But they then go on to say that you're going to be able to raise deviations, and then it starts to get actually interesting, which surprised me, because they say that you're going to be able to fuse the deviations, and they say things like maybe you're going to fuse Mr. Wish with a chair. Like, what? Mr. Wish with a chair doesn't even make sense, and this is the stuff that I absolutely love about Once Human. It's the constant what the heck is this moments that you get inside of the game that just honestly keep me holding out hope for it for some reason. But they go on to say that the core gameplay in this scenario is going to be about deviation battles, almost like POW World, and this actually sounds really good. They even talk about holding some sort of championship, and I'm gonna be honest, I actually love this idea. And it's nice to see that the company can still drop some good news after months of practically nothing. However, where there's good news, there's of course bad news, because both of these scenarios are in pre-development, and neither of them will be coming out until Q3 of 2025, which is still a while out from now. So take that for what you will. Let's go ahead and move on to the PvP scenarios. And honestly, I zoned out for this portion. PvP in this game is so bad, it's not even worth looking into. The cheating, the bugs, the balance, the list goes on and on and on. This game, in my opinion, just does not fit properly with PvP, and they would be better off cutting it out entirely and pushing all of their focus into developing actually functioning PvE scenarios. To go on, they wanted to point out that all of these new scenarios will be tested in early access servers, basically just making us their test dummies, and also spoiling the entire scenario content-wise before it even launches, because I can guarantee that creators are going to be jumping into early access to pump out the walkthroughs and the guides and the whatnots. How exactly can I guarantee this? well, I'm going to be one of those content creators doing that thing for sure. So there you go. And that was about it for the interesting parts of this stream. I know I'm a bit cynical with this game. I'm still somewhat holding out hope, but it is dwindling day by day. And I don't care much for the mobile, but they did talk about that with the global launch for mobile being in April of 2025. But there you go. Boom, bing, bang. That's a wrap. This stream gave me practically zero extra hope that this game ends up turning a corner. But go ahead and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm out.